Mossy by Jan Brett.
On a misty, moisty morning, a young turtle stood at the edge of Lily Pad Pond. Her name was Mossy. Mossy liked this damp, cool place. She spent so much time here that curlicues of moss began to grow on her carapace until her shell was covered with them. As the spring days got warmer, tiny ferns unfurled and wildflowers began to blossom. Soon, Mossy's shell was home to an amazing garden. Mossy liked to look at her reflection in Lily Pad Pond and see what was growing in her garden. Every day brought a surprise, a new flower, or perhaps a delicious wild strawberry. Mossy's garden was growing wider and taller. One day, Mossy was standing by Lily Pad Pond when the water rippled and two ruby red eyes looked up at her. It was a handsome turtle she hadn't seen before. Scoot had never seen a lady turtle like Mossy. He thought her garden was pretty, but it was Mossy who made his heart beat fast. She was breathtaking. Scoot scrambled up the bank and walked toward Mossy. Entranced by those ruby eyes, Mossy made her way into the open glade toward Scoot. Just then, Dr. Carolina, on her morning walk with her niece, Tori, spotted Mossy. Gently, Dr. Carolina picked her up. She is perfect for the museum. Never had Dr. Carolina's museum had a wonder as extraordinary as a garden growing turtle. She and Tori made a home for Mossy in a viewing pavilion with plants, a reflecting pool, and everything they thought a turtle would need. But Mossy already had everything she needed back at Lily Pad Pond, and she longed to go home and find her new friend. Every day, Scoot waited for Mossy, but Mossy didn't come back. All summer, visitors came to see Mossy and her famous garden. They watched her eat raspberries and mealy worms, mushrooms and lettuce. But Mossy didn't seem happy to Tori, and Dr. Carolina was too busy to notice. Mossy was lonely for Scoot. She had stopped looking at her garden in the reflecting pool because it made her remember those ruby red eyes, shining like jewels, peering at her from Lily Pad Pond. Thoughts of Scoot only made her sad. Snow fell outside, but inside the museum, Mossy's garden kept growing, and people flocked to see her. Dr. Carolina was thrilled that Mossy had made her museum famous. Today, Tori and her class had come to see Mossy. The meteorites and geodes amazed the children. They loved the woodland diorama, the butterflies, and the shells. Finally, Dr. Carolina said it was time to see a special exhibit. The children gathered around the viewing pavilion. At first, they didn't see Mossy. Then she started to walk, her magnificent garden swing back and forth. The little turtle captivated the children. Mossy is a special turtle, Dr. Carolina told them. Her garden grows and changes all year round. She is never hungry or cold. She is safe living in the museum. Here with us, Mossy could live to be 100 years old. Tori frowned. She loved the museum. She had helped her aunt collect wonderful things on their walks. But Mossy was the first living creature that Dr. Carolina had taken to live in the museum. Is that why she looks so sad? Tori wondered. Do you think Mossy is happy here? Tori asked her aunt. Does she have any turtle friends? The children asked. No, but here we all have the opportunity to see her. Dr. Carolina paused. The children had given her an idea. On the first day of spring, a sign on the front of the museum read, "Closed. Do not disturb." Two women arrived at the back of the museum. Dr. Carolina and Tori were there to meet them. Everyone wondered what this meant. One day passed, 2 days passed, then 3. After a week, everyone was invited inside. Dr. Carolina introduced the two mystery women. Please meet Flora and Fauna, she said. The curtain was pulled aside, revealing a portrait of Mossy, larger than life, with her garden painted in glowing detail. Flora had painted all the plants. Fauna had painted Mossy. Together, the artists had captured a moment in time that would never fade. Everyone cheered and clapped. At dusk, Dr. Carolina gently put Mossy in a collection basket. Come with me, she said to Tori, and off they went to take Mossy to Lily Pad Pond. Together they said goodbye to their garden growing friend and put her in the glade next to the waterfall, exactly where Dr. Carolina had found her. Mossy was home. The next morning, the warm spring sun woke up Scoot from his bed underneath the leaves. He opened his ruby eyes and saw Mossy. Their year apart vanished into the past. At the museum, the portrait of Mossy continued to amaze visitors. What an extraordinary work of art and nature, they exclaimed. The world changed as the years went by, and Tori grew up. But Mossy's portrait is there in Dr. Carolina's museum for all to see, not knowing that not far away, on the misty, moisty edge of Lilypad Pond, an old turtle still stands. Her name is Mossy.